There's an old quote from Warren Buffett. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. But nobody tells you the second part. The market also transfers money from people who don't understand the game to people who understand which level they're playing. Because finance is not one game, it's seven different games stacked on top of each other. And most people spend their entire life playing level 2 while taking advice from people playing level 6. Today, I want to show you the real map, not the social media version, not the get rich fast version, the real version. Because once you see this, you'll never look at money the same way again. Every generation thinks they are smarter than the last one, but history keeps embarrassing us. In the 1920s, people thought radio stocks would only go up. In the 1970s, the Nifty 50 were unstoppable at 40 to 50 times earnings. In 1999, companies with zero profit were worth billions. And the scary part? They weren't wrong about the technology. They were wrong about the timing and the price. Today, we have AI hype, tech dominance, options trading culture, narrative-driven investing. Different story, same human brain. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes loudly. The first level of finance is survival. This is not investing. This is staying alive. Rent, food, bills, loan payments. This is dependence. This is when money controls your decisions. Maybe you borrow for normal spending. Maybe credit cards become income. Maybe you feel like money problems are permanent. And listen carefully. If inflation is 6% and your savings grow at 3%, you are losing money quietly every year. At this level, investing is not the priority. Stability is. The second level is solvency. Now you can survive using your own income. Bills are paid, rent is paid, food is covered, but the month still feels tight. One unexpected expense still creates stress. And emotionally, this is the most dangerous level. Because now you have just enough money to take risks, but not enough money to survive mistakes. This is where hype wins. This is where people buy assets because everyone else is buying. This is where people discovered Bitcoin at $60,000, not at $3,000. This level feels exciting, but statistically, this is where most wealth journeys die. Level 3 is stability. Now life becomes predictable. You have savings, maybe 1 to 3 months of expenses saved. You start investing consistently. You start learning numbers, PE ratios, growth rates, market trends. But this is where a new danger appears. Confidence without cycle awareness. Right now, the top 7 US tech companies make up about 36% of the S&P 500. Their valuations sit around 35 to 40 times earnings. That's not cheap. That's perfection pricing. And markets punish perfection very fast. Level 4 is security. This is where something beautiful happens. Money stops shouting inside your head. You usually have 3 to 6 months emergency savings. Insurance is in place. Investing is consistent. But the biggest shift is mental. You stop reacting to headlines. You start watching systems. Interest rates went from near zero to above 5% globally in just 2 years. That is one of the fastest tightening cycles in modern history. At the same time, central banks bought more than 1,000 tons of gold in 1 year. That's not panic, that's protection. At this level, you stop asking, which stock should I buy? And start asking, what environment am I investing in? Level 5 is flexibility. This is where life changes emotionally. You can leave bad situations. You can change direction. You can breathe. Not because you're rich, because you built buffers. This is where smart investors focus on asset allocation, not maximum return, maximum survival, stocks, bonds, gold, cash. Because history is clear. When tech crashed almost 80% in 2000, balanced investors survived. When inflation exploded in the 1970s, gold rose over 1,300%. Level 5 is boring, but boring builds freedom. Level 6 is financial independence, and this level is what social media glamorizes. Your assets support your lifestyle. Work becomes optional. And here's the truth nobody sells. Most people reach this level using boring systems, retirement funds, long-term mutual funds, decades of consistency. The cheat code is not intelligence, it's time. The S&P 500 has crashed more than 30% over 10 times in history. Yet, over a century, it's still averaged around 10% yearly. Most people don't fail finance, they fail patience. Level 7 is abundance and legacy. And this level is not about money anymore. It's about meaning. You think about generations, impact, protection, purpose. And psychologically, something powerful happens. You stop needing to be right. You accept uncertainty. because you finally understand something most people never do. Nobody knows the future. Not billionaires, not hedge funds, not influencers, not economists. At this level, finance becomes boring and life becomes peaceful. Now, let me leave you with something honest. Markets might go up 30% from here. Markets might fall 40%. Both have happened many times. The goal is not predicting perfectly. The goal is surviving long enough to let compounding do the heavy lifting. Know your level, play your level well. Don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle, because wealth is not built in exciting moments. It's built in long, quiet, disciplined years where nothing dramatic seems to be happening. And one day, you look back and realize everything changed. Money is not really about money. It's about control, choice, peace, and time. And the people who win this game are usually the ones who stop trying to win fast and start trying to win forever. And that is the real game of finance.